in and kindly say hi to your teacher. Your teacher loves greetings because teacher loves you so much with the love of Jesus. Welcome to my live stream as we have a powerful episode regarding the home ties that can cause you to get a visa. Yeah, so welcome, and say hi to your teacher. I'm eagerly waiting for you, my VVIPs, as normal. I love you with the love of God. Welcome to the live stream. As I wait for the other guests, we're going to start when you are quite a number. Yes, so welcome, hi to your teacher. Welcome, and if you have not subscribed, my dear ones, please subscribe. Remember, I normally say when you water for others, genuinely, you shall be also watered for. I am a researcher. I research a lot regarding traveling. I go to the websites of countries and everything because my area of work is regarding documents, travel documents. Yes. So I am a qualified document checker. I have all information regarding all the nations. So my first guest, my beloved, welcome and say hi. So when you come and say hi, please, and subscribe if you haven't. Give me that support. When you water for me, may the Lord open for you doors. Yes. So welcome and like the video, please. So as I was saying, I'm a researcher. I research a lot. Because when I decided that documents will be my career, checking travel documents, knowing all the security features of travel documents, I decided to know so many things. Because when you are checking the travel documents, you also need to know, or it's good to know, how did the passenger even go to the embassy to get the visa? How did the passenger even get as a particular document? Because he is traveling to that country. I shall leave. Thank you so much, my dear. Welcome to my live show. I shall leave, Nehemiah. I tell you that you shall live to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Yeah, because that is your portion. So thank you so much, my first guest. I love you with the love of Christ. Today I'm going to discuss about how you are going to have home ties when you go for the embassy, because people normally go to the embassy even after invitation or when they are going for study, but they don't know about the home ties. They don't have home ties, whereby the embassy officials want to know, are you going to come back to your country after you get the visa, after you go to visit any country? So when you come in, Kalan, thank you so much. How are you, my dear? Like the video and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you, my beautiful ones. I love you with the love of God. The teacher is here. You are a researcher. I normally do a lot of deep research regarding traveling because that is my area of expertise. So I keep researching regarding Germany, regarding Ireland, regarding Poland. Lucas, thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you so much, Lucas. Like the video, my dear, and subscribe if you haven't. As I start officially, I want to have a number. Oh, thank you so much, Callum. May the Lord bless you. And if you have a YouTube channel, may people subscribe. You can even put your link here. We can subscribe because we love you. We need people to grow. Yes, we are not malicious. I told you this group is like a family. I want to teach and teach and teach because that is my line of duty. I am Grace. I do. Yes, thank you so much, Kalan. Welcome so much to my live. That is my line of duty. I train. I am an expert in travel documents. That is why I normally dig deeper regarding visas, regarding everything, regarding embassies. I do deep research before I present anything. I'm not a lawyer, neither am I. I'm not even an embassy. I'm just an expert in travel documents, and I give legit advice. So like the video kindly, Lucas, and subscribe, my dear ones. Give me that motivation. I want you to give me 1,000 subscribers today. Right now I'm 500. Kalan, I am aspiring to get maybe 1,000 by the end of this month because I want to grow organically with my viewers, with my followers, my subscribers, giving the best advice so that we can grow together. And I love you so much with the love of Christ. That is my area of expertise. I decided to learn a lot regarding traveling because of the problem that I've seen people having. People normally SMS me, they tell me they were refused a visa, even after going to after getting an invitation, or even after applying for a school, and even after paying the admission, whatever, because some school require that you pay the admission fees before they give you the admission letter. Some normally get invitation even from people in abroad, maybe in the UK, maybe in the US, but when they go to the embassy, they get a refusal. That is why I want to come today and talk about ties. I don't know people, I know you, some of you know about the home ties, because that one is a key thing. Even other than the financial ties, other than the financial statement, there is something we call the ties. And that is where people are failing the interview. So kindly like the video, kindly subscribe, please share widely for people to come and watch this live, because I want to give you a lot of legit information. And as I repeat, I'm not a lawyer. I just give information out of experience and deep researching, because that is my line of duty. Because I take passengers internationally to all destinations, flying to Caribbean, flying to the US, flying to wherever. So welcome. And if you have any query regarding the ties, you can ask there, and I'm going to explain to the level best and to make you understand. I am a good teacher. I normally make my students understand what I'm teaching. I do not leave my students confused. I am not an author of confusion, because even God is not an author of confusion. So as we wait for the others, that will be our topic. Proving the home ties so that you can get a visa. Because remember, most of us, even who are watching here, they want to go abroad. Maybe you want to go and work. Maybe you want to go and visit. Maybe you want to go to study, because we have all the options in this world. Because I told you, God have opened doors internationally for people to travel. As long as you are legit, as long as you have the required travel documents, and as long as you have all the other requirements. So I'm going to teach about the proof of ties. That one is a thing that people normally do not know. And when they go for the interview physically in the embassy, they ask questions and they figure about the proof of ties. So keep coming in and joining, and say hi to me as you come in. As you get in, say hi to me. Share the live to your fellows as we start. Yes, welcome. I am Grace, your travel expert. Yes, and I'm not going to stop teaching. I know people don't like people when they are doing good things. People do not love people when they are growing, but I'm going to teach and teach, because this is my line of duty. I said I shall teach until I'm 80. After 80 years, that one I can rest. But until I'm 80 years, I shall be teaching about travel documents, authentic travel documents, countries of the world, Europe, countries in EU, countries in the European Economic Area, countries in the North America, South America, Caribbean, and all that, and all the travel requirements. And if I go to the sites and I get job opportunities, I shall always put the links without fearing anyone, because job links from the sites of the legit government sites are normally legit. You just apply and go, depending on your area of qualification. So thank you so much, my dear ones. Kindly like the video as you come in, so that your teacher can start the topic when we are quite a number. Yes, I am a travel expert. Anything regarding the US, you can ask this woman. Anything regarding the UK, regarding Ireland, regarding Qatar, regarding Dubai. But today we are going to talk about the ties. Because some major countries, like some countries, for example, Canada, US, UK, and most European territories, they normally want to hear about ties before they give you a visa, even if you have a financial statement. People normally think that because you have got finances in your bank, when you go to the embassy, you are going to get a visa automatically. Sometimes they need you to prove the ties. And there are people who have gotten refusals in the past. Some have sent me the refusals, and they were just because of the ties. The embassy wanted to know whether after going to the US or Canada or UK, you are going to come back home. Whether there is anything that is tying you back home to ensure that you are going to come back home. So like the video, subscribe, and share widely. Otherwise, I'm going to start now the topic officially, because some others can come and watch later. Tiny. Yeah, Tiny, I want to discuss the ties. Yes, ties are very important, because if you see, even you don't know about the ties. Maybe someone sends you an invitation. He sends you even his financial proof that he has got a good financial status. And then you do the application very well. But when you go to the embassy, they ask you about your ties, home ties. That is a key thing that is asked in the UK embassy, in the US embassy, in the Canadian embassy, among others, Tiny. So please, as you come in, that will be our topic. how to prove your ties so that you can get your visa approved. And I'm saying this out of deep research because people even said me their refusals. There are people who normally study the refusals that they get from the embassies. Somebody just says to me, because they know I'm a qualified document checker, they send me the refusal, and then you see most of the time ties. Ties is one of the major things. Secondary to financial proof, ties is another major thing when you are doing an application. So today we are going to talk about the ties, and I think now I can start officially. And I request you once again to like the video and subscribe if you haven't. Kindly give me 1,000 subscribers before the end of December, so that I can get the energy to do a lot of research, because I'm a genuine researcher. I give information out of research. I don't beat about the bush. Now that's why I'm very comfortable, because that is the truth. Even when you go to the sites of those countries, you go to the US site, you are going to see that information. So if I come and talk about Ireland jobs, I'm not beating about the bush. There are jobs that are there, and Africans and anyone, Caribbean and wherever can apply. But today we are specifically talking about the ties. So Tiny is asking, what are the ties? Tiny, when you apply for a visa, especially UK, Canada, US, and other European territories, after you normally do an application online most of the time. You apply online, everything that you are needed to put. But when you go physically to the embassy, they normally ask a question, either whether you have ties back home, or they can ask you this way: what are your plans after visiting the US? What are your plans after studying in the UK? Because you can be going to study or even going to visit. Because remember, a visit visa or a study visa is not an immigrant visa. So they want to know, after studying in the UK or the US or Canada, what are your plans? So people normally do not understand that question. When you ask what are your plans, you beat about the bush. And the embassy official or the consular officer wants to know whether after studying in the UK or US or Canada, or wherever you are going to study or visit, you are going to come back home. So people normally do not understand that question. Many people normally tell me they were asked, what are your plans after you study in the US? Or what are your plans after studying in France? Or what are your plans after studying in Canada? Because they do not have the information, they start talking, I don't know, after I finish, I'm going to look for a job. Remember, that one will make an instant denial. You can't get a visa. Because now you start beating about the bush. After I finish learning this course, I am going to look for a job, and then I can support my family. That one, you are going to get a refusal. They want to hear something like this, what I'm going to explain now. I want to go to the US. I want to go and do accounting. After I finish doing accounting in the US, I'll go back to Gambia or Tanzania or Congo and use those skills to manage my parents' business. Because, for example, there are people who are normally sponsored by their parents to go and study in them. Not all the time, but some. For example, maybe your dad is sponsoring you to go and study in US or Canada, and you took all the documents showing the assets of your dad, how he is capable financially to sponsor you. So when you go to the visa interview physically, because I normally say, remember, a physical interview is more powerful than the paperwork. Have the paperwork well too. Have the paperwork. But remember, even if you have the paperwork and you cannot explain it very, very convincingly, you can't get a visa. Let me give you an example. If I'm going to buy a television set, maybe in a brand of a television set in the supermarket or somewhere, maybe from the dealer, when I go to the supermarket, I will ask the dealer, how is this television set? If the dealer gives me papers to go and read, I will not even buy that television. But if he tells me this set is from Japan, it is very, very authentic, because as you know, Japanese products are very authentic, or South Korean products, I'm going to buy that television set, not minding about the papers, the receipts, and the description. Or even when you are going to buy medicine, you go to buy medicine in a pharmacy, and then you tell the pharmacist, maybe you are having a stomachache or a headache or migraines, and you ask the pharmacist, what is the best medicine for headache? If the pharmacist gives you the pamphlets, maybe the description for the medicine, you cannot even have time to read those things. But if he tells you, if you take this medicine, you are going to be healed. That one you are going to buy that medicine, and then after you go home, you remove the description in that sheet of paper that have description of the medicine and the uses, and then you read, but already you have bought the medicine. That is what happens in the embassy. They want to hear what you are saying. Other than carrying the bank statement and all that, they want to hear, because it is called an interview. It is an oral interview, word of mouth. People normally think because they have got a bunch of papers, the embassy official have got time to go and peruse in all the papers. Sometimes they don't even peruse. Maybe sometimes they can pick one, but they cannot be able to peruse all the papers, verifying one by one. They can sometimes not even check at all. But sometimes they can ask you, give me that bank statement. Maybe not all the time. Because the interview is based on one-on-one. Yeah, it is not like you have to go into the interview. Whoever went yesterday they asked the same questions. So with the proof of ties, remember that one can make an instant denial because of not proving your ties. For example, if you go to the embassy, Kalan, and you are doing an interview for a visa in the US, for example, or even the UK, and you tell the visa officer, they ask you, what are your plans for going, what are your plans after visiting? If you don't have a genuine answer, you tell them, I am going to come back home because anyway, my parents are old. You can have all the evidence. I have my old parents and I cannot stay far away from them because I need to take care of my old parents. I have got my children and I need to take care of my children. So I cannot stay far away from my children. Those are very powerful ties. Or maybe I have got assets back home and I need to come and take care of my assets, to take care of my business. That one is a very nice tie. For example, maybe you are going to study nursing in the US, and then the official in the embassy will ask you, because there are some people who think because they are going to work in the US, that one is an immigrant visa. A visitor's visa and a student visa are an immigrant. They are not immigrant visas. So the questions will be the same. So because you are going to do nursing, they can ask you, Kalan, what are your plans after you are done with nursing in the US? And then Kalan tells the consular officer, I am going to look for a job after doing that. Tell them that you are going to go back home. Maybe you are going back to Nigeria so that you can go and use those skills to help the Nigerian people. Because maybe you want to go to work in that district hospital, that provincial hospital, level 5 hospital in Nigeria, in Uganda, to improve the health standards of your people. Show them that you have got strong ties back home. If you are doing accountant, maybe in the US, and your dad maybe have got a medical facility. Maybe your dad is a healthy person, he has got a medical facility. You can tell them, I want to go back and utilize those skills in my father's business. Because maybe your dad has got healthy skills, but he does not have accounting skills. Or maybe I want to go back home and manage my parents' business. That one can get, they are going to see that you are focused and you are going to come back home. But most of the people get refusals because of ties. Other than the financial statement, because that one you have to have a strong financial statement. Yours, and even for the sponsor. There are people who normally have a sponsor, but they do not have their personal financial statement. So plus the financial statement, ties is very deep. So up to there, if you have a question, you can ask. Because I want you to pass the interview, whether it is a German embassy interview, whether it is a UK visa interview, whether you are going to the US, you pass the interview. Whether it is a visitor's interview, you are going for study. People normally fail study interviews, even when they are getting invitations for job in those countries because of lack of ties. So any query so far? So the officer is not necessarily going to ask you, what are your home ties? The question could be, what are your home ties, or what are your plans after studying in the US? That one can be another question. So always have a strong statement to show that I cannot even want to stay longer than the time I have applied, because I have got my children, because I have got my husband, because I have got my old parents, because I have got my career. Remember, a strong career, maybe that you have built for a long time, can also be another good approve of ties. The career. There are people who normally have got maybe a teaching career. Some have got accounting career, and they love that career so much. showing that you are employed in such a particular company. You have all the letters of recommendation that maybe you have gotten out of the good work that you work for that company. Show them that you have got passion to go back home and go on with your career. If you are a teacher, accountant, maybe you are a business person, show them that you have got strong ties to go back home and manage your career. That one is a very good strong statement regarding home ties. Because I have gotten so many people sending me their refusals because of home ties. Somebody had a financial statement, a good one. They had the money in their bank, they had the money from the sponsor, the financial, but because they didn't have ties, simply because they did not know. That is why I normally say, before you go for an interview, do a lot of research. You can go even to the US site. You do a lot of research. That is what I normally do. Researching from the US site, I research from the Irish site, I research from the German site, from the Poland site, to get to know what are the requirements, even during the visa interviews. Because as I'm telling you, that is my line of duty. Checking travel documents, seeing that you have got all authentic documents before you fly to US, to Cayman Islands, to Germany, to Poland, and all over in the world. So ties, Kalan, those are very important. Home ties, back home. To show that after you visit for 1 month in Canada, you are going to come back home because you have got something that is bringing you back home. Pets, you could be having pets. There are people who normally have pets. There are people who normally have career. A strong career can also be a very strong career, showing that you work in a very nice company and you have got even an appointment letter that they appointed you to work in that company. That one is one proof of ties. So before you go for the interview, always know to answer about the proof of ties. Otherwise, you can get a refusal. Remember, we have a difference between a refusal and a ban. A refusal is normally given when they see maybe because of insufficient documents, because of living gray areas. I told you that the visa officer do not have time for back and forth. They want to hear what you are saying. They want to hear that you are convincing, because they normally have a backlog of cases. So when you go with your ties prepared, financial statement prepared, they normally give you the visa. Because remember, when you go to the embassy, they want also to know about your criminal what? The criminal record. And there are people who normally think that criminals are only those people that commit big crimes. Remember, if you have ever been convicted, I was telling someone the other day, even overlapping in the road, because some people overlap, you do overlapping in the where you are driving, and you are arrested by the police, and you are judged by a judge. If that one is a criminal conviction, so you have to put all that in the application, because even if you put that one, if it is not a serious crime that you committed, that one is not a reason for a refusal. But if you are taken to court and you are judged, you are sentenced because of that may be overlapping or even small mistakes, that one is a criminal record. People leave those gray areas, but later they get into trouble. Remember, when you don't give the right information or the truth, they're gonna give you a ban. A ban is more serious than a refusal. A refusal can be because maybe you don't have enough money, you don't have a strong supporting statement. No, you don't have a strong what? A strong home ties that you are that will bring you back home. But now the ban is when you lie. They treat it as deception, and when you deceive them, or in the application, they normally ask in the application form of the like for the US or the UK, there's normally a question: have you ever been refused another visa? And some people normally don't tell the truth, thinking that because you are refused, if you say yes, you're gonna get another refusal. Remember, when you say yes and explain it, they shall deem you a very honest person. So honesty during application of the visa is very key. If you had gotten a refusal in a Canadian embassy, put it very clearly in the application letter. If you had gotten a ban, put it in the application letter and explain it. Just explain why you are banned to go to Canada. And remember, when you get a ban, getting another visa is very hard. Wow, thank you so much, Rhoda. Welcome. Welcome and like the video, my dears. If you have not liked the video, welcome, like the video and subscribe. Yes. So, if you have been banned from another embassy because of a mistake that you made or refused, because remember, a refusal and a ban are different. A ban is whereby you use deception to apply for a visa. Because I told you, you have to be very authentic. The embassy officials do not allow lies, deception, or misrepresentation. So when you are misrepresented, maybe because someone applied for you, maybe they were innocent, but they did not know how to do the application. Because I told you not all agents are bad, but they do not have the knowledge on how to do a genuine application. If you are banned, you have to explain it in the other application. And that is why I'm telling you, my viewers, do not rush to apply for a visa if you know you are not ready to, if you don't have all the information. Because bans and refusals can cause other bans and refusals. If you have got any criminal conviction, perhaps however small it is, any mistake that you made and you went to the police and you are given a whatever, you are a judge, that one is a criminal record. And people normally forget that. They think that criminal record is for those that do a big crimes. So any criminal record, write it very well. When you go to the interview physically, explain it. They are very understanding as long as you talk the truth. Not all criminal offenses can make you get a denial. Remember, the people in the embassies or the countries abroad, they do not want criminals in their country. If it is a minor criminal, maybe charge, explain it. If it is a major one, explain it. Otherwise, if they discover later, they can't give you the visa. If you got a refusal and you refuse to put it in the application, maybe you got a refusal in a German embassy and now you are going to apply in a Canadian embassy. If you do not put that refusal, if they discover, that one is called what? Deception. That one is a ban. And bans can cause you a lot of trouble in your future endeavors to travel. So up to there, Loda. Any question? As I continue, my dear ones, if you have not subscribed, my dear, please subscribe and give me 1,000 subscribers by the end of December. I want to have a big migration. As I want to be doing like a very big training sessions regarding immigration, authentic, because I'm a qualified travel documents, whatever. So with the travel, with the visas, with the passports, with travels to the Caribbean, anything that you need, you can consult on the comment section. Let us be genuine to one another. Let us teach one another so that before we fly or before we go to the embassy, we know what we need to do before we go to the embassy. Because the ties has become a crisis. People normally are normally asked, Rhoda, what are your plans to go back home? And they do not understand that is the ties. What are you planning after going to the US? What are your plans after studying in Germany? What are your plans? You have to tell them that my plans are, I want to go and utilize those skills back home. I want maybe to go and start my business because that have been my vision. I want to go and support my parents in their business with the skills. If it is an accounting whatever career that you have taken in the US, Canada, or wherever, tell them that I'm going to go back home and do. I can use the skills in my father's business. I can use the skills to put up my own business, to be managing my financial whatever. So that one is very powerful, my dear ones. Do not forget to have that. Application for a visa is a very serious thing. Do never live in the gray areas. Because I told you some people carry very many documents, thinking that the officials in the embassy have all the time to check document one by one. Sometimes they don't check. Sometimes they can check only one. So, other than having the documents, genuine documents, do never carry any fake document. During the embassy, do never be cheated that someone can cook for you a bank statement. Build your bank statement if you are willing to travel. Build it for months. Most of the time, they check from 6 months. So, build a bank statement. Remember, when you have got a very small salary, it can cause you to get a refusal. Because remember, they normally know the situation in all the countries. If they are in Gambia, they know how the life is in Gambia, how the economic situation in that country. So you are getting a particular amount of money, and you have got a lot of savings. You have to prove those savings. Prove the saving that maybe you have another source of income. And remember, there's something else they cannot allow you in the finances, because that is another mistake that people make because of long advice. They go and put a large sum of money once or maybe twice in the account. That one is going to be suspicious if it cannot be explained. You put a large sum of money once to get to get your bank statement to be okay. Remember, when you put a large amount of money once, that one they can suspect that this one is it is fraudulent. So that one, don't try. Do not be advised to do that, because bank statement mistakes make people get refusals. People have gotten refusals because of bank statement mistakes. Build your bank statement, save and save, go to the interview. If they deny you the visa, because I told you the visa interview or the visa issuance is decided by the embassy officials. No one else can decide about your visa issuance. No agent, neither me nor anyone. After you apply, we leave that to the immigration official, to the consular officer to make a decision. You can even be having all those documents, but because they are trained, they are trained to even read your psychology. They can lead you and see, maybe this person wants to go and seek asylum, maybe she wants to go to the US and never come back. So they can also refuse to give you the visa, even if you have all the requirements, because maybe you don't have a reason to go and visit. They normally ask people, why do you want to go and visit? True, thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you so much, my dear. Welcome. And like the video. So they normally want to know the reason for you to go to visit. If you don't have a strong reason to go and visit, to get a refusal. That's why I normally tell people who are trying to apply visa right and left. Do not apply for a visa if you don't have a very strong reason why you are traveling to that country. Do not, because I told you refusals cause other refusals, not all the time. Some refusals can cause other refusals. Because as I'm telling you, when you are applying for a visa, you have to put the previous refusals in the other visa. If I went to Canada and got a refusal, when I'm applying for a UK visa, I have to put that refusal in the UK application. And they are going to want to know, why did you get a refusal? And you have to to talk the truth. Remember, sometimes they normally call the bank to confirm your statement, because some people are normally misled that you can look for someone to put their money into your account, and you can go to the embassy with that bank statement. Remember, sometimes they call embassies. Many people have told me the banks they normally call the banks sometimes. So please, do not make a mistake with bank statement. Never make a mistake with the ties. Do not make a mistake with the hotels. The criminal record. And I'll repeat again. A criminal record is whereby you went to court and you were judged. Even if it was overlapping in the road. That one is a criminal offense. As long as you were taken by the police to the judge, and the judge gave you a statement and he judged you. That one you have to put in the application, criminal record. Do not assume that because you are not a big criminal, you don't have a criminal or whatever offense. Any offenses, it does not mean that when you have got those offenses, they cannot give you a visa. They are going to gauge and see whether that one was a very serious crime, whether it was just maybe a mistake or something, maybe you did something by ignorance, and they're going to decide. So please, before you like to apply for a visa, take your time. Do not get advice from people who don't know immigration, people who do not know how to go about it, for I told you bans are not good. So today my topic was about ties. I'll repeat again, ties, home ties. What are you going to, what are your plans after visiting Germany? You must show them that you have got ties back home. You have got your assets, maybe you have got your pets, you have got your parents who are old that you need to go and take care of them. You have got things that can, maybe your career, because you have built your career for many years, and it is not your intention to go and work in that country. Because if you are visiting with a visa or a student visa, if you show them that your intent is going to, after finishing whatever you are doing in the US, you are not going to come back home. That is another reason for refusal. Most refusals are because of the intent, ties, financial statement, and the criminal record. Those are the four main things: ties, finances, criminal record, and what else? Yeah. So those things, before you decided to apply for any visa, sit and think, what am I going to say about my ties? And I told you they don't always ask you for the tie. They can ask it indirectly. What are your plans after visiting Germany? What are your plans after visiting France? So you have to tell them, my plans are going to go back home because I want to take care of my old parents. Because I want to take care of my what? Because I am a pastor in a particular church and I'm required to be there forever. depending on what you do. If you are a pastor, you are an evangelist, show them that you are going to go back home and do what you are supposed to do. If you are a youth leader, you need to go back home. Maybe you are a community leader. Always have that strong statement. So for the visa application, I think I'm very clear, crystal clear, because someone sent me the refusal, and I thought for them, they had everything. Remember when maybe you are employed and you don't have enough money. Maybe you have an employment, but the money that you normally get, even if you put in the account, they are going to see that that is not enough. That's why I said, build your bank statement by saving for many years. Have other things that you are doing to show that other than my employment, I also have some other businesses, and you have to prove. For example, like in Kenya, you can prove on the M-Pesa transactions. You can prove on your pay slips showing that I get this amount of money, so that they can see that even when you go to UK, you are going to be able to cater for yourself for the period of stay. Do not only depend from your sponsor. Don't only depend upon the sponsor. Also have your financial statement. Have your finances. And remember, going to the UK is very expensive. They need to see that you are going to cater for yourself and you are going to come back home. If you don't have children, maybe you are a single person applying to go to visit the UK. Maybe you don't have a nice job that shows that you are getting enough money. That one is normally a gray area. They are going to think this person is a young person getting maybe 30,000 Kenya shillings or 40 or whatever, and they want to go to the UK to visit. Their chances of coming back are very minimal. That's why I normally say, before you go to the interview, have a strong convicting. You have to be very convincing, not convicting. Convincing. You have to be very convincing to the embassy officers that surely when I go there, I'm gonna come back. But if you are very low earner, the chances of getting a visa are normally very low. If you are very low earner, it is very low. The chances of refusal are higher than the approval. So before you start doing anything, do not depend upon hearsay. People telling you they can put for you money in your account. You need to show that you have got stable financial inflow in your account. Very stable. Money getting into your account, and you have got something that shows that surely when you go there, you're gonna come back. So up to there, am I clear? And it is still very hot. Up to there, am I clear? Because people have been asking about the ties. They normally go and then they don't know the question. They are asked, what are your plans after studying in the US? They get confused. You start telling the embassy official, my plans after studying in the US is to look for a job. Imagine telling the official that. You have to tell them, my plans after studying in the US are to go back home and use my skills to maybe to improve my business at home, maybe to improve my parents' business. Show them that you have got something that is calling you back home to go and use those skills. But when you start telling them, immediately after I finish, I'm going to look for a job, that one can can cause instant denial. That can cause an instant denial. Have a strategic plan that I'm going to study, and after that, because my father has a clinic back home, I'll be helping my father by doing accounting for him. That's why I want to go and study accounts, because I want to be helping my father, because he's a medic, but I'm an accountant. That one. So the ties, key. That is very key. Ties, financial statement, and the criminal record. So up to there, I think I'm clear. Rhoda, are you still there? Any query? So for the visa interviews, because we are going far, I told you the visa interview, whether it is for work, whether it is for study, whether it is for work, study, and visit to do, you have to go to pass the interview. So always be prepared to answer all the questions, because if you don't answer the questions well, even if you have the documents, the embassy official have no time to back and forth. They only need you to convince them so that they can issue the thank you so much, Lauda. Give me company. The embassy officials want to give you a visa or deny it, but they don't want to have a back and forth. I always tell people the interview takes 3 minutes, mostly 3 or even 2 minutes, because they have got many people that are waiting to be interviewed. So that one was the topic for today. regarding the home ties. Home ties can be family ties, they could be a career ties, they could be asset ties, they could be your family, maybe your parents who are old that you need to come and take care of after you are done with your visit or you are studying. Those are very important things. For the work, it is normally slightly different. For the work, because you are going to stay there for some time, they are going to get to know why you are going to work. That one you can say about it there, upgrading your life or advancing your career or whatever, or advancing yourself. No career, not career, that is work. Maybe you want to advance your life, upgrade your parents' lives, but for the study, for the visitor visa, home ties are a must. Yes. So do not make a mistake of rushing to apply for a visa and you don't have ties. You don't have a strong financial statement. Even if you have a sponsor, you also have you must also have your financial statement, a very strong one. Yes. I told you the intent of the heart. The intent of the heart is very powerful during visa application, because I told you the embassy officers are trained. They are experts. They are going to get to know what are your intent. What is your intention? So the intention will make the visa officer to issue the visa or deny. Show them the intention to go back home. Show them that authentically you are going to do what you are going to do. Because as I told you, we have to be authentic, pure, and truthful. Because when you go with maybe you are doubting, they are not going to give you the visa. And remember, going for the visa, going back again to apply again, it wastes a lot of time. Just apply very nicely once, go get your visa, visit, and go back home. Because when you have a good travel history, getting another visa, I always tell you, is very easy. Even in the airport, when people have got travel history, it is normally easier to clear them than people with a new visa or people without a visa at all. But when you have got a visa for Canada, for US, for Belgium, for France, Poland, you went to Dubai, you went to Tanzania, a travel history in your passport is a added advantage. Because I told you, even when you buy a ticket and you have the visa, it is not a must for the airline to carry you. It is their decision to carry or not to carry. So never go to the airport. When you are told to go back home, you start threatening anyone. In the airport, it is the airline, the carrier, for example, a particular airline, that have the final decision on whether to take you or not to take. And that's why I normally tell you, the visa process of application is the same thing that you need to do in the airport. Have a strong convincing power that whatever you are going to do when you are visiting that country is genuine. Otherwise, you can come to the airport and not get approved. You can get the visa maybe by good luck, and then in the airport, because you don't have the convincing power, you get a denial to board. It is called denied boarding. Do not board, D and B. Do not board, denied boarding. Do not always have when you are genuine, you are not going to be panicky. You are not going to be not sure of yourself. Because when you are not sure of yourself, you can't board a flight. Even if you have a ticket, even if you have a visa and a passport. If you are doubtful, you are not going to board. So have a strong conviction when in the airport, in the embassy. Catherine, thank you. Wow. All the way from Doha. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, and like the video and subscribe, my dear. You are most welcome in this channel. We train about travel documents. We train about visa interviews. We train about green card application, and people have gotten help. They are starting to say that now they are doing the right thing, because formerly they were going to maybe when they get an invitation from the US or Canada or UK, they look for someone, maybe a broker or someone who don't have the information. When they do the application for them, they get a ban. That is why I normally tell people, do not rush to someone who doesn't have the good information to apply for you. Do it for yourself, my dear. I'm not saying you cannot use an agency if it is your choice. But for me, I prefer doing things for my own. Just go online, fill the visa, submit it with all the rightful documents. After submitting the application, go to the interview, being very prepared, and put God first. Because when you put God first, He is going to give you the favor, as long as you are genuine. So in the application, Catherine, the application is, because remember, The embassy officer do not know you. They do not know you at all. When you submit the application, maybe to the US embassy or the Canadian embassy, that is how they are going to know who you are. So whatever the information that you give there, during the day of the physical interview, that is when they are going to ask you questions because of what you wrote in there. Thank you so much, Temit, my new subscriber. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you so much, Temit. You are most welcome. Yes, thank you so much. May the Lord bless you. And by the way, my dear ones, 10 Minutes of Life have got very nice episodes. You can subscribe to her channel. I love promoting other people because that is godly. I told you Truth have got a channel, Truth 1995 TV. She teaches about vacancies in Europe. She lives in Belgium. And 10 Minutes of Life, she has got a nice channel. Please go and click to her subscribe and be watching her videos. Because remember, even if you subscribe and you don't give the support of watch hours, it is not good. But when you keep watching her videos during her life, or even the video that she upload, that is good. It's a good way of giving her support. So thank you so much, Temit. Welcome. We are discussing about visa application, the home ties, because that is my line of career regarding visas and passport and international travel. So I was talking about ties. I know you are going to get more information after we finish. You can go and check in there. You can go and start from the beginning. You watch that video regarding ties. And I always tell you, if you have any question, you can ask in the comment section. I normally do a lot of deep research because regarding countries, regarding European Union, European Economic Area, the whatever the Schengen territory, the Caribbean territories, we have got the South America, North America, Central America. I have all information. So anything regarding those countries, how you can travel, find the best flights that you can use when you are going to Cayman Islands, because I normally see people going to Cayman to work. People normally go to Cayman. The Cayman, it's very hot. People normally go to Cayman Islands to work. It is good to know what documents to use. The best flight, because we have got very many flights that you can choose, but they are the best ones. Yeah, thank you so much, Temit, for supporting my life. Kindly people, my dear ones, go and support Temit too. She is a very good person. She is very kind and very authentic. I normally talk about authenticity, that never use a fake document, never use a fake bank statement, never put a lot of money once in your bank as a proof of funds in the visa interview. People tell me that they got the ban because of that. You put a lot of money once and it is not credible. There is no, you cannot prove that money where it came from. Someone just came and put it in your account so that you can pass a visa interview. If you plan to travel internationally, especially in the US, in Canada, in UK, and other European destinations, start building your financial record. Start building your bank statement, because that one is going to help you individually. Even if someone is hosting you from the UK, from Canada, from the US, from Germany, have also your financial statement, a very powerful one. They normally check 6 months. 6 months, but mostly 6 months bank statement, showing that money has been coming in, that is enough to cater for you in your home country. Because remember, the embassy officials know the country's economic status. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you so much, my dear. More love, more love. Thank you so much. If you can watch me all the way from Qatar, may the Lord bless you. And may He give you the desires of your heart that are according to His will. Thank you so much because of being authentic. You are not malicious. And I want us to help one another. Even if you are here and you have got information, maybe how you can help someone to go somewhere, genuinely, you can do so. I told you this life has a need. Even if you live in the US, Canada, Kenya, wherever, one day there is a need of life. And if you make someone's life better, remember that one is going to be a plus in the kingdom of heaven. So let us join hands, helping one another with information. Yeah, thank you so much, Catherine. Whoever have not subscribed, kindly subscribe, and we shall work together this journey, so that when you are doing your applications, there shall be no hiccups. There shall be no gray areas. People normally get refusals and bans because of the gray areas. Like I said before, Catherine, there are people who are normally convicted because they normally made a mistake along the road. Maybe you overlapped or did something that is not right, and the policeman came and arrested you. They handed you over to court, and then you are convicted. Remember, that one is a criminal record. But people normally don't know that that is a criminal record. So in the application, you leave it that you forget to put that one. Remember, anything that is charged in court, that is a criminal record. But it does not mean that because you have a criminal record, you can get a denial. If it is not a serious thing and you have talked the truth. Because remember, the embassy officials are normally very genuine, very authentic. They cannot allow lies. If you lie, they call it deception. And if you are going to try to use deception to get a visa, you can't get it. That's why I normally tell people, as the way I'm authentic, be purely authentic before men and God. Never have a sinister motive that you are going to get maybe your way by deceiving. Remember, you can deceive maybe in your home country. At the point of entering that country, they give you a review. So because you never lies can never be perfect. Maybe you lie and then you get your way through. At the point of entry, remember, even if you get a visa in your country, maybe you're in Nigeria or South Africa. And by the way, before I continue, I salute all Nigerians. They have been my big supporters. I salute all Kenyans. They have been my big supporters. Gambians, Indians, Belgium, oh my God, there are so many people. South Africa, may the Lord bless you. May you never lack. May the Lord bless Nigeria, South Africa, India, Tanzania, Congo, Gambia, Kenya, oh my God, US, UK, even Belgium. May the Lord bless you and may you never lack. And if I have not mentioned you here, I love you all. So, at the point of entry in that country, for example, you are going to the US. There is someone who was traveling to the US. He applied for the visa to go for a visit. When he reached at Boston International Airport, he was asked by the immigration officials, "What brings you here?" You remember at home, she applied that she was going to visit, and she was granted the visa. But at the point of entry, she was asked, "What brings you here to the US?" So she said, "I have got my fiance." And she has got a visitor's visa, imagine. She was told to go back and she was banned. Having the visa does not mean that you have to enter the country. Because remember, those countries like the UK and mostly the US, people are normally entry. If you're not a very frequent flyer, and I'm talking about nationals, like us, like Kenyans, like Nigerians, Gambians, we are visa nationals. So if you have a passport, a Kenyan passport, you have a Nigerian passport and a US visa, whatever you said in the embassy must tally with what you are going to say at the point of entry. Do not change the story, otherwise you are going to get a refusal. So she went and told the immigration officials, I have my fiance here, I'm going to come and visit. And they are like, you have a visitor's visa. Because a visitor's visa is not a fiance visa. A fiance visa for US is K1. It's normally called K1. It is normally a process. The fiance and the fiance here is a US citizen. They pay for you to start application process for the visa, and then you go to the embassy. It's normally a very long process. There are even people who stay for 1 year. Even if you have got a fiance in the US, they send you their details for you to go and start the application, and it takes a long time. So people, because they don't want to go through the process, they go for a visitor's visa. And then they forget at the point of entry because of the excitement. I already have the visa now. I'm now going to enter the US. At the point of entry, you are interrogated. What brings you here? And then you start saying, I am coming to visit my fiance. So they guess in their mind, maybe you want to go and come and visit, and you are never going to go back to your country. You are never going to go back to India, to Gambia, to wherever, Sri Lanka. That one is called, they normally cancel the visa and they put in the system. So the intent is very important. Intent when you apply, intent when you are arriving at the immigration port of entry in the US or Canada or the UK is very, very important. You can be returned back home, even at the point of entry. So, Catherine, any question? Let me tell you something. Visa applications are sensitive processes. And remember, a visa can decide your destiny. Because if you're applying for a student visa, and remember, even there are some people who apply for a visitor's visa, and when they go to visit, by God's grace, a door opens. Maybe you go with a visitor's visa, you go to the US or Canada or wherever, and then by God's grace, I'm not saying that you apply for the visa with an intention of going to work or stay there. But you never know with God. God can open a door even when you are visiting. So when you are visiting and a door opens, you get work. And when you get work, you are allowed to change the visa depending on the country. Like the US, sometimes there are people who normally visit, and then in the duration of visit, in the status of their visa, they apply for student visa, or not for a school, not student visa. They apply for a school in the US, and they get admitted. So when they get the I-20 certificate, they do not normally need to come back home so that they can now go to the US. You can now change that visa to a student visa. Remember, that one can happen. That's what I normally say. When you are doing the application for the visa, be very authentic, because you never know. That could be a door that God is opening for you by God's grace. You can go to Canada maybe by God's grace. When you apply for work and you get work, you can change that. They can give you a work permit. So during the process of visa application, remember that one could be your destiny. So be very authentic, have the genuine documents, consult people who can help you genuinely, not necessarily agents. But anyway, if you have money to use with the agents, it's a choice. But for me, I prefer doing things on my own. It is better you ask your colleague who is just a colleague, or you just do it yourself, because it's not hard. As long as you have all the required documents. And I say, before you do application, have a checklist. Don't rush to apply for anything before you have a checklist. I have a criminal record, have the checklist. I have got my financial statement, have the checklist. I have got my ties at home, because I told you ties is a key thing. Other than the financial statement or the bank balance and all that, financial, home ties are very important. So do not make a mistake. Before you do your application, my dear ones, because when you are praying to God and you are sinning, it cannot work. Because you have to do the right thing all the time. Because even when you get the visa and travel, you are going to be feeling free. You enter the US, maybe you come back home. If you do not go to a country with a visitor's visa, thinking that you have got to get work or study or anything with a visitor's visa. Go visit and come back. But if God opens a door by any chance, because our God is a God of miracles and open doors, you can extend it depending. But do it during the status of the visa. Do not wait until the visa status is out and then you start applying. It is going to be more complicated. If you try to apply during the visa, when your time is expired. For example, I told you the US, when you're entering the immigration control, they normally give you days. Even if the visa is valid for 5 years, and they can give you 1 month or 6 months. The most they can give is 6 months, depending on your purpose. Do not try to do anything like looking for a school when the status is almost out. Do anything that you want to do, maybe to look for a school during your status, but that should not be your intention. If you show them the intent is going to look for a school with a visitor's visa, your intent is going to get married with a visitor's visa, your intent is going to look for work, they are not going to give you the visa. The intention of the heart is key to the embassy officials and the immigration officials at the port of entry. Port of entry, POE. It is normally called POE, point of entry. Intention of the heart at port, intention of the heart at the embassy, and the intentions of the heart in your heart. Because remember, even God says he judges the motive of our hearts. That's why I normally tell people, do not have an evil motive against anyone. If you see me doing a YouTube channel, because of my research, keep off. If you are not, because there are people who are normally there, they don't like it when people grow. If I see Catherine is growing, I do not want. But when I water for Catherine, I water for Temi, I water for Truth, I water for Abubakar and other people, God opens the doors. So when you see me teaching, this is deep researching, because I decided, because God has given me, I decided to do career in document checks. And because I told God, I will never sin with my career. I will never clear a passenger who don't have the right documents. I will never clear a passenger who don't. I will never receive a bribe, because there are people who do anything just to get money. I will never receive a bribe. I will never frustrate a genuine person. I will always clear the rightful passengers and do my best. I'll go and do other deep researches regarding visas, regarding embassies, because it's like the same career. So please, when you are applying for the visa, my dear ones, have all the documents, checklist, financial statement, check. The ties, check whether you have ties back home. You have your old mother you have to care for after visiting, check. You have got everything before, even career ties that I have to go back home because I have a career I have to continue with my career because I have built it for many years. So please, my dear ones, I love you with the love of God. I wish you good luck in your play. Not even good luck. I wish you the blessings of God when you are applying for the visa. I wish you favor. May the Lord give you favor before the embassy officials and at the immigration port of entry. It is normally called PO. In the US, they call it PO. They call it PO. POE. Point of entry. Because it is also a very crucial point. The POE or the point of entry in the US. Because I normally talk about the US mostly, Canada, UK, even Ireland, and even other destinations in Europe. Germany, France, Belgium, Poland, Slovakia, even look all those countries in Europe, because those are the major countries where you can get a refusal. Going to get a visa for Russia is not hard. There are countries that normally give their visas easily, like Brazil, like Russia. They give their visas. They are not that hard to give out their visas. Ukraine, Turkey, they are not that hard to give you the visa, because it is normally very hard for anyone to go and seek asylum in Russia. You cannot even go and seek asylum in Russia, by the way. You cannot seek asylum in Turkey. You cannot seek asylum in Brazil. It is very hard. But not the UK, the US, Canada, Europe, European territories. European territories are the likes of Germany, Belgium, Switzerland, all those countries. That's why they normally put very many measures to ensure that you are going there authentically and you are going to exit later. So up to there, I think I've taught enough. Today it was mainly about the ties, but I've touched about other things because the teacher, I normally like insisting on some things. Because other than the ties, you need to have all your checklist. Other than the ties, we have other things that you need to know. So I love you all. Thank you because of your love. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. Like the video, my dear ones. I told you that when you water for others, you shall be also watered for. So this is not legal advice. It is out of deep researching. I research a lot all the time to get to advance my career, to get to know more things regarding things, traveling and other travel issues and visa whatevers, because I want my students to learn from an authentic teacher. I do not want to give you advice that is not verified. I verify everything before I come here to teach, because I know you need verified information. So like the video, and kindly, my dear ones, I am urging you once again in the name of the Lord, give me 1,000 subscribers, maybe before December. I'll be so happy, so that I can get more energy to come and teach. I shall come and teach about Cayman Islands, because I normally see people going to Cayman. Some go to work, some go to Barbados, others to Bahamas, others to where? Which other destination? There's another one called what? There's very many destinations, by the way, in the Caribbean territories. So like the video, I love you so much. May the Lord bless you so much for your love. I shall continue loving you. Thank you so much, Nigerians, for your love. Thank you so much, South Africans. Thank you so much, Indians. Thank you so much, Gambians. Today, Abubakar, my VIP is not here. Thank you so much, Tanzanian, Congolese, Kenyans, South, where else? Belgium. They normally watch my videos. A lot of people from Belgium. May the Lord bless Belgium. May the Lord bless Nigeria. May the Lord bless where else? India. May the Lord bless Tanzania. May the Lord bless Africa, Asia. Salome, thank you. Why? Oh, you didn't see the notification, Salome? Oh, yeah, I put it the previous day. I normally do it one day before, so that my people can see the notification. Anyway, Salome, you are welcome. You are going to watch it later because I'm almost finalizing, but I can give you some recap. I was doing a video regarding the home ties. There is something that we call home ties back home, because that one is a key requirement by the consular officials when you go to the embassy for interview. That is very key. And the ties, I said, they don't normally all the time ask you, what are your ties? They can ask a question like, what? Yeah, you can revisit it, by the way. Yeah, you can. It is a nice topic. I want people to pass the interviews, because people are keeping saying they need the refusals. When you are giving a refusal, and it is very sad. Some have got the financial statement, they have got finances and bank balance, but they don't have ties. Some have ties, they don't have finances. Remember, you have got to have every requirement. And that's why I normally say, before starting application or thinking to visit, take your checklist and write everything with a biro. Ties, back home, I have my body mother, I have my career, my business, I have my this and this, my children, financial statement. I have these savings in my account, in my M-Pesa. This is my payslip. Have all those things. Criminal record. Remember the criminal I told you, even if you are taken by the police to court for a very minor offense and you are charged, that one is a criminal record. You have to put it in the application. If you have got a refusal by another embassy, you must put it. If you have a ban, you have to put it. So that when you go physically in the embassy, you can explain. It does not mean that when you have a refusal by the Canadian embassy, the US must refuse you or the UK embassy must refuse. They are going to weigh the situation. Why were you given a refusal? Maybe you were given a refusal because you didn't have a strong financial statement, or you did not put the criminal record. It does not mean that because you did a minor offense, it is a must for them to deny the visa. But remember, criminals can never fly. You cannot go to the UK, to Canada, to wherever if you are criminal. But there are some mistakes that are normally made. But unfortunately, you end up in the front in front of the judge, and the judge gives you a conviction. So if you are charged in court for any minor or major, whatever, you have to put it in the application. Never leave any gray areas. And I told you, refusals can cause other refusals. Bans can cause other bans. So before applying for a visa, sit and think about that. Especially the visitor's visa and the student visa. For the work visa is normally slightly different because when you have a work permit, you have got your international passport and you have got that the job offer, the visa issuance is very high. The visa denials are low when you are going for work and you have got sure, but mostly now, the visa issuance in European territories like Poland, they are normally very high. If you get a job in Poland and you have a job offer and your work permit, when you go to the embassy, it is very easy for you to get a visa. But remember, you still have to go through an interview. So whether it is a job interview, whether it is a work interview, no, for a visa interview or a student, always have a checklist and ensure you have got everything before going to the embassy. Other than the documents, the word of mouth is very powerful. Because as I said, Salome, when you go to buy a television, or maybe I'm going to buy a fridge in a supermarket, if I ask the salesman, how is this fridge? He has to convince me that this one is made in maybe in India, and we have got very, very nice products from India. Before he gives me the papers to read, already he has convinced me that that fridge is very nice, or maybe a microwave. But now if I go to the supermarket to buy a fridge, and then the salesman tells me, have this paper and read and know about the fridge, I will not even buy that fridge. So when you go to the embassy, remember the word of mouth is what is very important. The word of mouth, what you are telling, the convincing power. They cannot take that folder that you carry and check every document. But do not forget to carry all the documents. In case they need them, they can ask you. For example, they can randomly ask you, let me see that bank statement. They can do random questions. If they ask you for the bank statement, remove it and give to them. But not all the time. And remember, even after giving them all those things, the decision to give you the visa or to deny you lies with the consular officers. You cannot force them to give you a visa. And when they deny you the visa, do not lose your temper. Just go back home and try another time. There are people who try once, they fail. They try another time, they get. There are people who try. There is my friend who told me he tried for eight times. And finally, she got a visa. So for US. And now, do not lose your temper. Just go home, organize yourself once again, plan your visa application again, and try again. They are not animals. But remember, the convincing power is from your tongue. As I normally tell you people, because I'm a strong believer of the Bible, the power of life and death lies in the tongue. And those that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So whatever you talk is powerful, even than the paperwork. But have the paper. I told you when you're going for the interview, have a nice folder with your everything. Testimonial for schools if they are needed. It's even better you carry too many documents instead of not having them. And it is also better to write a lot of information in the visa application. It is not a crime to write a lot of information, because when you exalt information in the application, you shall look more genuine. You write everything. It is better you overwrite than underwriting, because when you underwrite or when you underput the details, that one is a gray area. And now you are giving them the room to deny you the visa and call the other applicants to come for the interview. Because as I tell you all the time, the embassy officials or the consular officers have got very many they have got very many interviews to conduct. So please, have everything, and when you ask a question, clarify very nicely. Be clear and to the point. Don't beat about the bush, just be clear and to the point. Otherwise, they don't have that time for back and forth. They only want to hear what you are saying. They give you the visa, and when you get the visa, visit and go back home. Otherwise, thank you so much. I cannot continue not unless you have a question regarding the visa application or the refusals. Otherwise, I will gonna quit. So, my dear ones, if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe. When you show love to others, when you plant love, God will, you are going to harvest love. When you plant other bad things, you plant them. So please, thank you so much, Salome. Thank you so much, my dear. May the Lord bless you, and may He open for you doors that no man can close. May He fulfill the desires of your heart that are according to His will. Because remember, God is holy and divine. He only fulfills our desires that are according to His will. If you desire other things that are not according to His will, He cannot fulfill them. If you desire to fly to the US, tell God. If you desire to fly to Canada, you can tell God, because He is able to open that door. If you want to fly to the UK, to Poland, to wherever, God is able to open those doors, because He is always faithful. So may the Lord bless you. The doors He have for you are those of goodness and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope, and meet also. So whatever I'm saying here is out of deep research. I shall keep researching. I shall come and talk about Spain and the opportunities in Spain. Remember, there are countries that employ people even outside their territories. For example, I told you Ireland, the links that are there. Even if you click and look, you can see the jobs in Ireland. So please, it is out of deep research and out of doing whatever authentic research that I give out this information. So you are sorted, because you have got a genuine teacher teaching you about the visa interviews, the travel documents, the countries in the world, and all the other things that you need regarding traveling. So if you have any question, you can post them in the comment section after I upload the video, after I'm done. I don't never ignore any comment. If you comment and be respectful, let us love one another, let us have positive vibes, and God bless you. Whatever you do during the day and night, may the Lord bless you, as long as it is a genuine thing. If you are doing a visa application, may the Lord open that door wide. When you go to the embassy, you get the favor from the embassy officials. If you are doing maybe a work visa application or a student visa, you are applying for a school in Canada or US or UK, may the favor of the Lord be upon you. May the embassy official favor you and give you the visa to go and study and to upgrade your life. Otherwise, may the Lord bless you. I love you with the love of God. This information is not legal, but it is genuine, authentic, because it is out of deep researching. May the Lord bless you. Let's meet next time. Those who have not subscribed, my dear ones, subscribe. And I normally do live videos, and sometimes I upload. Be watching, share with many, and may the Lord bless you. Otherwise, I'm going to quit. I don't think we have anything remaining. I have tried to exhaust about the ties, because most people fail because of ties. And I decided to do that. Whatever you see me doing here, by the way, most of the time is normally a complaint from somewhere. That imagine I had this and this, but I did not have this. So I normally think, because there are many people maybe who are suffering the same, or maybe who don't even know about the ties. They just rush to the embassy and then they ask questions, and then you start guessing, and then you fail. After paying the money, and remember I told you the refusal is not a good thing. A visa refusal is not a very good thing. It's like a black spot in your plans, a black spot. So it's not a good thing to get a refusal. So it's not. I don't like that, and I know you don't also like that. So before you do your application, do your due diligence, research a lot. You can even go to the UK website and research. You can go to the US web, those are genuine sites. Go to the ustravel.gov and do the research about all the requirements. Research about the visa application process, research about how you are going to get your visa approved, and all those requirements. Go to the site. If it is Ireland, go to the site so that you can get the genuine, authentic information. And remember, the visa officers cannot be compromised. And no one can bribe the visa officer. No one. And no one can help you to get a visa. The visa is only issued in the embassy, not unless otherwise. So may God bless you and have a good night. Thank you. Good night, good day, depending on where you are. Good night, good day, good afternoon, depending on your location. Thank you so much.